Hello lovely people. Today's gonna be my first install. It's a brand new Tiguan that if you saw the video that I did with Audison, rebuild, kinda rebuild. So it's his brother. And it's a simple system. Yeah, the car is a bit dirty. We had some snow today. It was snowy. The guy that came from Liverpool, it was a lot of snow in Liverpool, so yeah, it's a bit cold. That's why I have a hat. But it's beautiful weather. So let me show you what kind of gear we have and what are we gonna be installing. So the gear that we have is Hertz Milli Legends 6.5 two-way. So it's factory upgrade, two-way in factory locations. So we're gonna have mid bays in the door, tweeters here, and it's gonna be Hertz two-way from factory head unit. So it's a, yeah, as I mentioned, two-way. Now this is I made yesterday. It's a 5-channel Hertz amplifier, HDP5, I think. Yeah, 4x75 plus I think like 500 on the sub channel. Audison Bitnove DSP. I already have these prepped. That's for high level, just crimp, heat shrink. I'm gonna explain the wire later, and my plan is to put this one. So this is a little simple amp rack from plywood. So you can see I have threaded inserts, and my plan is to put it there. I don't know how it's gonna be, but it should fit. So if I'm just gonna just like that, yeah. So something like this in this corner here, it should fit. So this, what I'm doing now is trying to remove the trim. I need to figure out how to remove all of this because I need to run cables in there. Now I'm trying to run power wire through the grommet. So I already went through the grommet. I just need to pull it out. So it's gonna be, yeah, this one here. So I'm just gonna pull out the cable, mount the fuse block somewhere. I have a fuse block, and yeah. So the idea is, because I don't want to disassemble the whole front panel to get behind the head unit. So I was thinking, because factory is passive, so the tweeter has only a cap, so it's passive. So I need to run another speaker wire anyway through the grommet. So my plan is, because I have this wire here, I need to grab the speaker wire that's coming from the head unit here, cut it, run it to the back as high level input, and run 2 wires here and 1 extra through the grommet. So we're gonna be active two-way. So I'm gonna catch 1 speaker cable here and the other one on the other side. That's the plan, because I don't want to go behind the head unit. And yeah, when I'm gonna remove the door panel, I don't know if I'll be able to do it today, but it's gonna be some sound editing, foam, and all the usual stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna update you bit by bit, and then finally we're gonna have tuning session with this two-way, and we'll see how it's gonna be. Cool. So I'm gonna stop it here, and I'm gonna continue working. Step 1, making sure that the main power wire is done correctly. So I used the factory, because that's the only factory bolt that we have. So that's a 6mm glue lined heat shrink for the engine bay. I'm gonna leave it this one as it is. I'm not gonna cut it because it's a brand new car. Just leave it like this. 3 points fixed to the fuse holder, fixed in 3 points through this 3 little holes. It's fine, secure. And I didn't put the fuse yet, and the cable goes inside the cabin. So step 1 done. Okay, change of plans, first of many, I think. So I was thinking to put the amp in there, but I started to disassemble this, and like if I would need to put an amp there, then I would need to remove all of this side panel, because I need to run the wires under it, and then I found that there's no spare wheel. So basically all of this is not used, and if I'm gonna put it fits perfect, it doesn't move, and if I close the seat just like that, I'm gonna put this panel on top, just like that, and that's it, all hidden. So change of plans, I'm gonna put an amp there. Okay, I'm running the power wire through here, through there, and what I found is amazing factory ground points. This is solid metal, so this is gonna be my ground. Cool stuff. So since it's a brand new car, and how brand new, let me show you. So I removed this panel, and was the factory protective film. So this is how new this car is. It is a bit dirty, but so that's why I want to remove as little panels as I physically can. But yeah, cool. A little more progress. So the amp ramping is fixed. It's not gonna move anywhere. I did the ground, power wire, power ground connected. So you can see that I did piggyback the power and ground for the DSP. A few different reasons. First of all, there's literally no space for a separate fuse block to downsize, and I really didn't want to install any fuse blocks because it's just one amp, 5-channel. However, on the positive lead, I do have a fuse. So the positive lead that goes to the DSP is fused separately. That's a 2-amp fuse, so not to worry about it. And the remote goes there. I pulled the speaker wires from the left side. So I don't have the fancy heat shrink with labeling stuff, so I use painter's tape with Sharpie. So left tweeter, left output, this is gonna be from the head unit, that's gonna go into the inputs of the DSP, and left base. I still need to do the right side, put all the trim panels back. So I didn't remove the doors yet. I have all of these, and yeah. Now I think I'm gonna run the right side, and then we're gonna tackle the doors. Okay, 3 hours in, the wiring is done, run all the cables. So basically everything is finished. The only thing that I will need to is to connect the subwoofer outputs. So it doesn't look as pretty because first of all, nobody's gonna see it. Second of all, I literally don't have time. I have today to finish everything, and I haven't even started with the doors. The only thing that I did is run the power wire, all the wires, and install this. So it's not the prettiest things, but it's secure, it's safe. We'll have a ground there, all the cables, nothing is out of the way. And just to show you, so this is how it looks like, and this goes down. Cool. So it's literally just a few millimeters gap, and I'm gonna put this one in, and that's it. All done. Have the wires in the front, all of these. Now I'm gonna start with the doors. Whew, after some struggle, got the door card off. So it looks like the door is sealed. Here's some plastic thingy, but most of it is sealed, so that's good. That's a factory woofer with rivets, so I'll need to drill out these rivets and take it out. So what I'm planning to do is, because like this woofer, yeah, it's connected from the outside, but the original speaker is going to be from inside. So what I'm planning to do, the factory wire that goes to the speakers, because it's the same speaker, because this tweeter here just has a cap, so it's a passive crossover, so both of them on the same wire. So that wire I'm gonna leave, the original one, factory one, I'm gonna leave for the tweeters, because it's going through all of this, all the harnesses, and in here. So I'm gonna leave this original one for the tweeters, and the new one that I'm gonna run for the woofer, and it's gonna be from inside. So I won't have to deal with this. This basically I'm gonna have to just tape it off and just leave it like it is. Okay, so some drilling, and we're gonna start with the deadening. Okay, running the cable to the door. It's nasty, it's not pretty, but there's no other way unless you want to find specific pins and basically pin it. So you remove everything from here. This one pulls out. Then through this one, I pulled it inside so I would have a bit more slack, more space. And basically this plug, you can pull it out and you see all the wires that go in the door. So here I drilled the top 4 pins. I will need to clean it up. I'm just showing you now. So here are the top ones, and exactly the same on this one from the other side. There you go, the top ones as well. And basically you put everything back and you just run the long cable through there, and that's it. So now I will want to grab the cable that goes into the DSP in the high level from this plug, not from the head unit, but from this plug. So which one to grab? Took my multimeter, I probed one of the speaker wires, and basically I'm probing this that goes outside into the car from the door. And you won't be able to see with one hand, but basically I'm probing, and that's the one. So this is the first one. So basically these 2 big wires on the top. So if I'm gonna put it like this, those 2 wires are gonna be on the left side. Yeah, on the left side, left and top. So here I have 4 pins on the left side, and the top one, I'm looking at the top left, which is the big one. So the big one top left is this orange and yellow, and the second one is the brown one. So one is going to be positive, one is negative. So I'm going to grab orange and brown, these 2. Okay, so these are the connections. This is the loom that comes from the head unit. So from the head unit, these cut wires are going into high level inputs into the DSP, and then the other cable is coming back. So this is going to be the tweeter output from the amplifier, goes into the loom, through the door, and into the factory tweeter. And then the separate one that I drilled, this is going to go there, 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 and this is going to be for the mid bass. So deadening inside the door, it's practically impossible. This is probably going to be the window mechanism or whatever. I don't want to remove it. I don't want to touch anything. So basically inside, it's only this area, and I cannot reach. There's a bar going like this. I cannot reach anything in there. So it's just basically only this area from the inside. And then everything from the outside and all the door card. But yeah, deadening inside is impossible in this car. Okay, so this is something I came up with. I tried this in my old car as well. It's like fast rings, open cell foam from the outside and closed cell foam from the inside, and then basically it makes it very rigid, and it's gonna be fine. It's still compressible, it's still flexible, but I think it's very nice. Oh, if you're wondering why the speaker is upside down, I want to keep my terminals on the top so that when it rains, it's not gonna rust at the bottom. Time eventually caught up with me. Didn't finish everything. The customer left. That's a mess to clean for me. So what did I do today? I'll have to continue next week. Probably is gonna be next Thursday or Friday, because I'm a DIYer. I'm working from home. I don't have a shop, I don't have a garage. So today I spent 6 hours on that car. Um, in the first three, I ran the speaker wires and with the amp rack. The other three was basically for one door only, to run the speaker wire through the grommet, to put the speaker in, deaden the door and the door card, and put everything back. And that was the main thing, that he had to go home today. It was 5 o'clock in the evening, so he had to go home. So I did only one door. The next time is gonna be to finish the other door and tuning, which is going to be the most important part and the most fun. So I reckon another 3 hours for the door, and tuning another 3-4 hours maybe. It's a Audison, so less EQ. I don't know, we'll see. Two-way. So I guess next Thursday is going to be fully finished, and then I'm going to chop all this video and I'm going to put everything together. So now it's going to be a jump to the next week. Okay, week two, actually day two is next week, but day two on this lovely Tiguan. So I did the other side last time, now I started to do this side. And I want to spend some time showing you, because I didn't show last time, the door installation. So what I'm doing, I took the factory speaker out, which is like this, yeah, took it out, and I'm using the plastic speaker rings. I could make them out of wood. However, like these plastic ones, they're kind of flimsy when you have just a few mounting points. Like in my car, it has 2 clips and 1 bolt, but here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mounting points. So I think it's just for different cars, but 6 mounting points. So what I'm doing is I took out the rivets, drilled them out, put a slightly larger hole, and I'm using these threaded inserts. Yeah, so you just check it in there, use this gun, and basically it does this, and then you can use any kind of bolts. So I'm using small ones because I don't want to drill a massive hole. I'm using M4 bolts, and basically with washers. Difficult to do with one hand. There you go. So bolts. And I have gaskets all around here. I'm gonna put some gasket here as well. But basically this is how I'm mounting them. And then when you have 6 mounting points, they become, even if it's plastic, they still don't flex as much. So with wood, it's just saving time and money, to be honest. And yeah, so these are the doors. Now I'm gonna do the second door. I'm gonna show you after I finish the deadening as well. And this is how it looks like after the fixing. So all bolts in, there's a gasket between this, and I had to chop off a little bit here because that's a mounting pin for the door card. And it's plastic, but it's solid. Yeah, it doesn't move, there's no gaps, no nothing. I'm still gonna put some deadening all around it, and it's going to be much more solid. So as I mentioned before, deadening inside can reach anywhere. So one sheet, half a sheet there, half a sheet a bit deeper there, and some closel foam just for the back wave. And yeah, that's how you mount the speaker. I'm almost finished done wiring the doors, so the cables are there, this main plug is there. I just want to share a little tip. I bought this screwdriver. It's a long one, it's like a foot long, that I never ever used for anything ever. But now I found a very good use for it. So you stick it through the grommet, be very careful not to damage the cables, and you stick the speaker wire to the screwdriver, and you basically just pull it out, and it's much easier to pull all the cables. So just a little tip. Use something maybe a bit thinner, but yeah, I use a screwdriver. Hey, I know people love this shot when you have the door and the door card. So just deaden as much as I could. I left some places because, you know, for easy access. So this ring, even if it was plastic, now it has sound deadener foam from the outside, so it is solid. This as well, CLD under from outside. I didn't put anything on this part because this molds into this part, and basically any kind of stuff you put there, it's not gonna fit, the door card is not gonna close. And it's anyway, it's soft, so it's not gonna rattle at all. Yeah, so this is basically the deadening of the door. Not like when you see in Instagram, but it does the job. Okay, so the installation is done. I have everything installed, everything put back. Now I'm just running initial setup for the DSP. So it is Audison Bitnove, and I just ran the DEQ. So if you can see, it is the same for everything. This is the factory EQ that is applied to the signal. So I am using Bluetooth because the owner is using Bluetooth on his phone, and I want the sources to stay the same. So I'm gonna tune through Bluetooth, and he's gonna use Bluetooth. So what I did on the amps in the back, I disconnected the remote wire from the amplifier. So the signal that comes from the head unit goes into the DSP, but when it comes out of the DSP via RCAs, it doesn't go into any speakers. That's just a safety precaution. So remove the remote, and I'm gonna set up the DSP, just double check if everything works, and then I'm gonna start tuning. So next jump is gonna be into the tuning, what I've done with this two-way system. While it's writing the data, I just want to point out something. So my car is 2009. Yeah, it's what, 14 years old. Yeah, and this is a brand new 2022. So I'm gonna shut up now for a second and listen. Basically, this is the car with the engine running. It is a petrol engine, and I'm sitting in the car. I literally cannot hear absolutely nothing. It's dead. No vibrations, no nothing. My old diesel, oh my god. So I'm gonna tune this car with the engine on because it absolutely doesn't affect anything. Okay, so initial setup done, and I'm gonna start measuring and start tuning. Okay, the car is tuned. I have everything here. Everything is done. We do have a problem, a major issue that I didn't, I just found out now. So the problem is one of the speakers on this side has some problems, and I suspect it's gonna be an amplifier or the DSP. It has like a crackly sound. While I was filming the last seconds, my phone died. So basically the speaker has a crackly sound, but it's weird. It's intermittent. And yeah, you can see today is a wonderful, lovely day. Sunshine, warm. So it has kind of crackly sound. It sounds like a poor connection on the speaker driver itself. However, I soldered on the tab. I soldered the wire, and the wire that is going to the amplifier is solid. There's no breaks in it, so it cannot be mechanical connection. Then I was thinking it might be DSP or the amplifier or the RCAs. I swapped the RCAs. It didn't change it. It's still happening. Then I swapped the channels on the DSP. It changes sides. I swap the channels on the amplifier, it changes sides. And it's like, it's so weird. But the best thing, I was playing Bluetooth through my phone, yeah? When the customer connected his phone, there's no issues. We were listening for like 20 minutes, no issues whatsoever. And it's like, it's so weird because it cannot be Bluetooth. And the main thing, it's only the mid bass. It's one of the mid bass. The tweeters are fine, the subwoofer is fine. It's only one of the mid bass. If you have any ideas, please comment and post. Because for now, I sent him home. He's going home very happy. The system sounds great, to be honest. It's a two-way. I didn't expect that a two-way can sound that great because it sounds really great. And I'm gonna add, after this, I'm gonna add the RTA of the car, how I did stuff. It sounds amazing. I sent him home, and for next time when he's gonna come, sorry, I'm not looking at the camera because it's so sunny today. When he's gonna come next time, I'm gonna try to troubleshoot it like every component separately. So I'm gonna take a home amplifier, I'm gonna connect directly to the speaker wires and see if it's the actual speaker, because it might be the tinsel leads. But then, because it's happening on the low volume as well, not only on a high volume. On a high volume, it actually fixes itself sometimes. And during the tuning, sometimes it's working, sometimes it's no. It's like, I don't know. But when it's working, it sounds great. Yeah. So let's jump into RTA.